This playlist is going to be full of short videos on world climate. So what I'm going to do is I'll make these short videos on different kinds of climate that exist in the world. Now these classifications are also known as the Koppen scheme, which are widely used throughout the world. And the whole idea is to give you a broad understanding about the relationship between a particular region and the climate. So with no further ado, let's begin. Alright, the first one is tropical humid climates. Now this is group A. This falls under the category group A. So whenever you hear the word tropical, immediately think of the world map and just visualize the area between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this entire region is known as the tropical region or equatorial region. Now this region also receives sun rays all throughout the year. And I have stated this reason numerous times. The sun rays fall vertically direct on the equatorial region, and as we go away from the equator, the sun rays fall in more slanting direction. As a result, vertically direct sun rays produces more heat, and slanting sun rays cover bigger area but have lesser heat. That is why as we go away from the equator, temperature drops. Now that we know the tropical region receives sun rays all throughout the year, therefore this makes the tropical region warmer compared to other parts of the world. Because of that, the climate of the tropical region is hot and humid. Oh, by the way, you will hear this term Intertropical Convergence Zone, which is ITCZ. So it is a low pressure belt that is present near the equator. As we know, the equatorial region is hot and humid, and you must know that this kind of temperature is ideal for the creation of low pressure belt. Now, you must remember this point. If you visit a place which is hot and humid, that means there's a lot of moisture in the air. And the moisture is a direct result of evaporation. And if you look at the tropical region, we have a good amount of water surface, which makes evaporation easier. So if there's a good amount of evaporation, that will create more moisture in the air. And after evaporation, we have condensation. That means these water vapor in the air will transform back to liquid. And that's how condensation leads to cloud formation. And then due to surface tension, these clouds turn into liquid droplets that fall on the Earth's surface as rainfall. So we can conclude by saying that the annual rainfall in the tropical region is high. However, you must realize that the annual range of temperature is very low. The annual range of temperature is defined as the difference between the hottest and coldest months. Now, how is that possible? Because moments back I said the equatorial region receives sun rays all throughout the year, and that is why it is hot and humid. So how can the annual range of temperature be low? And the reason behind that is, so if you look at the equatorial region, and I'll take the example of our country India, which is very much part of the equatorial region. In India, we have 4 kinds of season: winter, summer, autumn, and monsoon. So if you notice, all throughout the year, the temperature fluctuates. And if you remember the picture wherein the earth revolves around the sun and how we have different seasons, and if you recollect anything from that picture, you will remember that there are some parts of the year when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and then there are some parts of the year wherein the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and that is what creates winter and summer season for the northern and southern hemisphere. So clearly you can see that the sun rays migrate to some degree from north to south and south to north near the equator. So because of this, the intertropical convergence zone also migrate, which is the low pressure belt. So if the low pressure belt keeps migrating all throughout the year, then there will be a difference in the heating pattern. If a region receives both hot and warm temperature from time to time, compared to a place which has extremely hot or cold temperature, then automatically the annual range of temperature will be low. In the next video, we'll look at the subdivisions of tropical humid climate.